Welcome to an overview of LeaderShift, the perspective that changes everything. Perspective is how a leader understands what is happening, internally and externally, before choosing how to respond in any given situation. Perspective is also our ability to see clearly, and think clearly under pressure, aligning the inner world of thought and belief with outer demands of leadership. It is not strategy, systems, or skill that causes many leaders to struggle, but in the way a leader sees, interprets, and responds to reality. The path of LeaderShift moves from reaction to regulation, from pressure-driven decisions to purpose-filled discernment, addressing the inner world that shapes every outward influence. As perspective changes, leadership moves from performance to embodiment, where aligned behavior, grounded wisdom, and lasting impact become the natural result of personal and organizational transformation, from the inside out. Perspective also serves as a filter for information that helps leaders to make decisions concerning any given situation or event. Unfiltered, unexamined assumptions may quietly control or manipulate our leadership behavior. For the most part, what we see or perceive will shape our decisions that may further shape how we lead. Perspective operates silently, interpreting reality, assigning meaning, and shaping responses long before what we see becomes visible. LeaderShift brings this hidden process into the light, helping leaders examine, recalibrate, and align the lens so their responses are no longer reactive, distorted, or inherited, but intentional, accurate, and values-driven. Leaders often master external strategy, while neglecting the internal formation, or balance of perspective of self and team members. LeaderShift addresses our internal world, or how we think, that fuels our external influence. When perspective, how we see, and how we think is unexamined, pressure amplifies blind spots rather than wisdom. What leaders believe, interpret, and rehearse internally shapes how they respond relationally, decide strategically, and lead consistently under stress. By reshaping perspective, LeaderShift restores alignment between who a leader is becoming internally, and how they show up externally, turning reaction into intentional influence. The LeaderShift framework operates in two parallel realities where leaders are shaped and molded: the outer, or external world, and the inner, or internal world. Both of these realities are governed by what we see, and how we think. LeaderShift begins by diagnosing what lies beneath the surface of our leadership, regulating internal responses, and reframing perspective so pressure no longer dictates behavior. When the inner world is aligned through intentional practice, leaders move from reaction to response, and lasting influence emerges naturally in the outer world. Alignment potentially occurs by practicing the 4-phase cycle of LeaderShift. The 4 phases of the LeaderShift cycle. Phase 1. Reaction is automatic. A leader receives critical feedback and immediately feels defensive, preparing a quick reply. Phase 2. Awareness is recognition. They become conscious of the negative thought based on what they feel because of the feedback. Phase 3. Regulation means to pause for clarity. The leader pauses, steps back, and allows emotions to settle before responding. Phase 4. Integration is aligned behavior. With clarity restored, they respond thoughtfully, seeking understanding, maintaining professionalism, and reinforcing trust. When leaders move from reaction to integration, influence is strengthened through the process, creating greater trust and credibility in the minds of the people that we lead. In the LeaderShift process, a partner to the 4-phase cycle is the LeaderShift Index. The LeaderShift Index is a simple diagnostic tool that measures how a leader moves through the 4 phases: reaction, awareness, regulation, and integration, under pressure. The LeaderShift Index reveals observable behaviors externally that may be breaking down internally. This is the place of targeted, intentional change for the intentional, influential leader. The iceberg of leadership. What we see in leadership, or on the surface, is only a fraction of what drives organizational outcomes. Sustainable, organizational change begins below the surface. Above the surface is our external reality. Our office buildings, our computers on our desks, the people that we work with and work for. This may also include unknown leadership issues. What is present beneath the surface are our beliefs, assumptions, identity and self-image, past experiences, fears, and values. What is also beneath the surface are many other challenges that may be unknown. Why leadership influence breaks down. Leadership influence breaks down on many occasions because we react, instead of respond to what is beneath the waterline. When leaders react, most often, they are reacting to challenges and issues beneath the surface that they are not aware of. This reaction may be driven by surprise, urgency, emotion, or incomplete information. When leaders respond, they acknowledge what lies beneath the waterline. Fears, assumptions, triggers, doubts, and emotional signals, and choose to regulate, pause for clarity, and respond positively, rather than react by impulse alone. Influence further breaks down because of erosion of trust and credibility, relational poverty, and inconsistent decisions, where urgency replaces clarity. The 4 phases of the LeaderShift Cycle. The 4 phases of the LeaderShift Cycle is understanding an intentional reaction to a situation, awareness, or recognition of the situation, regulation, pausing for clarity concerning the situation, and the integration of a leader's values and character that influences actions and decisions. The LeaderShift Index is a diagnostic tool that helps a leader with observable behavior that may require regulation, a perspective shift, and applied wisdom for what is below the waterline or surface of our leadership. LeaderShift does not begin with fixing behavior or improving tactics, it begins by transforming perspective, or how we see and think about what we see. The LeaderShift Index Cycle. 1. Diagnosis. LeaderShift starts beneath the surface, taking note of behaviors, and helping leaders identify hidden patterns of thought, emotion, belief, and assumptions that silently drive decisions. 2. Regulation. Rather than rewarding speed and intensity, LeaderShift prioritizes emotional regulation, teaching leaders how to pause, stabilize, and regain clarity so pressure does not hijack judgment. 3. Perspective shift. Leaders are then equipped to reframe meaning, moving from reactionary narratives to expanded awareness that moves a leader to respond from wisdom, rather than impulse. 4. Applied wisdom. Insight is translated into consistent, aligned action, and lessons learned. Leadership becomes embodied, not episodic, producing steady influence, instead of situational performance. The LeaderShift Diagnostic Index and the LeaderShift Cycle reinforces the 4-phase cycle of reaction, awareness, regulation and integration, by measuring what many ignore. How a leader thinks, regulates, reframes, and applies insight and wisdom, for personal and organizational transformation. The 4-phase LeaderShift Cycle, the LeaderShift Cycle tool and the LeaderShift Diagnostic Index are partners, designed to look at and evaluate the condition of the leader's inner life. The aim of LeaderShift is to help form and shape leaders from the inside out, ensuring that what happens below the waterline, or the surface of leadership, is empowered by their character and accountability, above the surface, for greater organizational effectiveness. Understanding and practicing the 4 phases of the LeaderShift Cycle, and thoughtful application of the LeaderShift Diagnostic Index, and the LeaderShift Cycle tool, has the potential to move team members and organizations to greater inner and organizational alignment, subsequently increasing effectiveness and productivity by practicing LeaderShift.